Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Autoclub Speedway for race number 3 of the 2025 season. Australian NASCAR eSeries trucks, sponsored by Seidel Farms. We have some excitement in store for tonight. We had a glorious race at Atlanta. Strategy galore, fuel strategy, tyre strategy. It had it all. It came down with David Olenjak winning the race and cementing his place in the playoffs there. But a lot to play for here. We've got a racetrack that offers 3 wide, 4 wide even if you're brave enough, and some big names returning. Our 2024 champion Brad Newman has dusted off the cobwebs. He's back, and we've got as well our usual heavy hitters ready to get out, get dirty, and see if they can cement themselves in with a race win. I am myself, Matt Danson, and of course alongside me, Dave Douglas. Dave, we saw a lot happen in race 2. What are you looking forward to, and what do you think we could be in store for tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be a good race, to be honest. There's a few big names, as you said. We've got Brad Newman back, which is great to see him out here. Which they've just wrapped up qualifying, and see he's going to be starting on the front row with Jason Holdsworth. So we'll run through that grid in a minute, but we see some big names at the front there. We got Zach Sears back as well. So we'll get to our grid, and we'll run through that now.
Sensational. So exactly like you said. Spoiler alert: Jason Holdsworth is on pole from Nitro Racing. Brad Newman returns with a bang, P2. Ruben Phelps, P3. And Zach Sears, obviously last week, took home P2, solid result. He starts 4th with Stephen Williams, the 2024 winner of this race, rounding out the top 5.
We got Matt Payton in Nitro colours out there tonight, P6. Bradley Cairns, 7th. Brad Wright, 8th. Nigel Seedle in 9th, so Nitro's looking all up there. They're looking pretty good tonight by the looks of it. David Lawler in the 10th position. Maxi Marshall 11th, and Dean Power out there top 12.
We'll just zoom through the second half of the grid here, and then we'll talk about the race. But Angus Lawford 13th, Aaron Borg, Aaron Dorman, Riley Curtis, Shane Edgar 17th, Kuday Dell 18th. The fan favourite Carl Wilkinson-Withy P19. He's got a bit to do there, and Marty Mitchell starting P20. We'll just let the grid roll out behind us there. Dave, we looked at the some of the, I guess, key race points. Fuel could be a factor here. 36 laps thereabouts we're expecting on a tank of fuel. The race itself is 84 laps, so we're thinking for sure a clear 2-stopper. But an early caution could really change things up there. What are some of the key, I guess, focus points for you on this race?
I guess you're going to have to look for the guys to try and stay in a pack, in a sense. Like, it's not pack racing like we have been the last couple of days, couple rounds, but the draft is big here. So it's a fast speedway. So being in that draft is going to help with the speed. And as you work around, and these guys will be pretty racy to start with this. So I would expect them to be in a bit of a group to start with, and then slowly string out a bit. But I think, as you said, it's a 2-stop. It's going to be bit of toil wear involved in that, and yeah, just looking after your stuff.
Great call. Now, the early sort of crow that I've heard, speaking with a few drivers, one of those that's very confident about their prospects tonight is Nigel Seidel in the 69 truck. He's bullish about his chances. He's got decent speed, quality P9. I think he's one to watch. Do you have a driver that you'd like to? Obviously, we're not going to put money on them, but if you put your guess for the race before we go green.
Right, let's jump on a bandwagon. Carl Withy back there in 19th as we're about to go green flag racing in front of you.
Green, green, green.
In
And
fact,
there
is the green. Yes, delightful. So green flag is out, and we're obviously side by side as we tear away there. Jason gets a bit of a jump on Brad, but he's got a nose on the right rear just enough to keep him honest. And we've got a bit of 3 wide, in fact, just back in the sort of mid-pack area. As Newman's still looking to the outside of Holdsworth there. All clear through the field. Getting strung out somewhat, but at the front we're still going for it.
So Zach Sears, the 342, so our second place getter from last week. He's on the tailgate of the 33, which is Newman, giving him a little push down the back straight there as he drops down low. So there's a lot of different lines here. You can run low, you can run top, you can run the 3 or 4 middle lanes there are as well. So you'll see drivers using all the lanes here at this track.
Great call. As Brad Newman, in fact, gets clear of Holdsworth off the exit of 4 to take a lead, and the front few just single out. Just trying to obviously take stock of where they're at the moment. There is some side-by-side back there for P6, that looks like, as I think it's Stephen Williams, the 2024 winner, looking low on the 19 of Brad Wright.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I got to sort of back up what you saw was Brad just gets in there a bit deep. He had a little snap of oversteer mid-turn there and just sent him up the track a bit. So he's going to have to try and get that under control. These trucks will be a bit loose entering and exiting turn 4 mainly as they work their way through it. And they'll probably only turn looser depending on how they've got their setup. But you can see Brad's all the way over the back of the 98 there as we got the 8 of Jason Holdsworth putting a little bit of pressure on Newman at the front with his teammate Zach Sears behind him. As Matt Pat just gets up against that fence there but stays off it, so she can get a bit tight on the exit of turn 2 especially.
Yeah, I noticed the truck getting, I wasn't sure if they got loose or what occurred off turn 2 on the previous lap. It was David Lawler dropping, he qualified and started P10. He's all the way back in 23rd now, so he had a bit of difficulty off turn 2 the previous lap. Obviously, we'll look to regroup and get himself back. Thankfully, he can fight another day there. Hasn't hit anything, hasn't got any damage, so he'll regroup and have another go. But just up the front there, keeping things well, I was going to say keeping things pretty honest, but Stephen Williams again looking low on Ruben Phelps as we ride on board with him coming off turn 2, still side by side and a bit of 2 by 2 behind, but they're sorting that out. In fact, and again, as I say that, the blue and yellow truck obviously lines himself up for a move as well. So still all to play for, and that's the beauty of this track. There is lots of lines you can run, lots of different ways as they get very close off turn 4 there. Steve Williams and Brad Wright there, but they sort themselves out, and again it starts a single file. There's a lot of action back around the. Yeah, I was going to say that around that sort of 15th mark or thereabouts, 3 wide. We'd love to see that.
So as he gets 31 of the Josh running up top there as Dean Powell gets right up behind the 36, I believe that is there. Maybe Lawler, I'm not sure the exact number. I couldn't get a quick read on that. As Riley's right up against the fence here, following his teammate Mickamore. And Dean Powell, who had a bad run last week, I think he got screwed over by a yellow, but he's trying to work his way through this field as Riley's running up the top there, as we can see Curtis, and Mickamore working his way through the field after pretty average qualifying, well, looks of it.
Yeah, certainly deeper in the field than he'd be used to. There's a bit of a door bang there between, I think that's Dorman and Griffiths there, but they sort themselves out as it's Dorman, I think, looking really low there to try and take advantage and get a couple while he can. Lost for words there a little bit as they came, they were unsure if they were going to be 3 wide or what they were going to do, sorting that out, but they've got that organised and a bit of 2 by 2 action.
Yeah, Dean's getting after it here. The 999, you can see him give the tailgate of Dorman a bit of a bump down the back straight, so we just jump on board with him actually. And yeah, he's getting up it tonight, which is great to see. He's going to come up and get Lawler. He's on the outside, 152, and he's got his teammate behind him in a 36. I just noticed too that Matt Pat got clear and he did set the fastest lap of the race, but that's none the wise, none the here or there. Is that car with you there coming in through the it is too in the 65 there? He wants to be part of this action as well.
Yeah, he's getting after it, getting right up close and personal there with, as they make a little bit of contact, left rear to right front. I think that's with Lawler, unless I'm mistaken. Brandon Griffiths, I apologise. So, bit close for comfort, but they live to fight another day. Just trying to get that side draft, I think, there from Carl, I suppose, but very, very well judged at the end of the day to get that close and not end in tears. But he's got to regroup a little bit. It looks like it has shaken him somewhat because he's dropped back off the off Griffiths there, and up front looking ahead there as this. Oh, I say this sorts itself out, but no, they're 2x2 once again. I think that's Brad Wright taking a bit of a look.
Yeah, he's been battling for a while now. You got the likes of Ruben Phelps, I should say. He's been around the game, so he's had some good luck of lately. Well, not so much. He's been driving well, I should say. The 9 out is Stevie Williams. He's always driven well. We've got Bradley Cairns back there having a look. So it's just a little lively pack, this one.
So, sort of how you'd almost expect this type of race to go at this early stage. It's, you've got your comers and goers, as it often is, but the boys at the front look like they're pretty happy to bide their time somewhat. There's nothing too crazy happening. Obviously, Brad made that the big move early to leapfrog Holdsworth, but since that point, it's kind of been line astern, just trying to be a little bit circumspect with their progress, and it's obviously more lively back in the field here where we're looking now, and that's my call for the race. Nigel Seidel looking to the inside of Brad Wright, I believe that is. I need to get my little spotter's guide out so I can get this more picked off. I apologise, but he's getting racy. He's wanting to, he's kind of saved his things. Like I said, he's pretty bullish about his prospects this evening. So he's Nigel, that is just getting himself perhaps in a bit of a rhythm now to look to move forward without putting words in the situation, creating my own narrative, I suppose. But he's definitely staying strong on the bottom there. I think generally speaking, you'll find the truck on the outside is going to have better momentum off the corner. So if you're going to get it done, you probably need to, on the bottom, you need a bit of a pace advantage, bit of a tyre advantage, just to stick that on the bottom and get a good run off and clear them. As I say that, Aaron Borg is making a move on Stephen Williams. Looks to have cleared himself there. My eyes are looking a little bit further ahead from what we see on screen. I apologise, but there we go. We have it on screen now. Stephen Williams coming back, but Aaron Borg has made quite a lot of progress. Started P14, he's already up to P7, so he's working his way very smartly up the field. He should be able to get the run off here, you'd think. Although Stephen Williams hanging strong on the bottom, getting a bit of a tow from I believe that's Phelps just ahead of him, which is keeping him pretty strong there, but. If Borg can hold himself up here, which he does, there you go, clears him nicely on the top, and he's looked to have had nice pace this race, a bit loosey goosey through the middle off there, but he's cleared. He's
we've got a spinner in the background. They're in the fence. It's going to be yellow here.
That's a bit of chaos there. Who we got there, Dave?
I'm not sure. I just saw it in the background of the telecast there, the background of the shot.
That might be Lawler, I think. Is it?
The 67 Trent Lavelle. Fan favourite.
Fan favourite, that's right. Mm.
We'll get on board of that for sure. Is that Ryan Barber back there too? The 05 it is, Ryan Barber. So, it's the 136.
Yeah, so just snaps loose and then, yeah.
Just Lawler gets down. Oh, an innocent bystander in the 51 is Catudo.
Yeah, so I'd mentioned earlier, if you recall, I think it was lap 2, Lawler he's chasing it, gets away, and 8 tyres are better than 4, as they say, so he's used a bit of Trent Lavelle to save that one. He's, as is often the case, Lawler's gotten away scot-free with that one, but he did have a moment early, Lawler, that is, off turn 2, looks like that truck's a bit of a handful at the moment. Probably a good chance here to get in, get some adjustments, and perhaps tighten it up.
I was actually just about to mention that I could see a few trucks getting a bit loose as the field will probably come down, and be interesting to see if they take tyres yet or they'll just take fuel. But after this, we'll have to make sure we get an onboard shot of the 67 for the fans in the chat, mate. They frother 67 onboard, I hear. We've got a couple that stayed out there.
Yeah, a couple staying out. I think even from we can't second guess their strategy, of course. You never know, but from my POV, I think you'd at least want to come and get a splash of fuel. It will be interesting to see who takes tyres here, who doesn't. Looks like Newman is taking tyres. The consensus appears to be tyres.
Jason was
Jason Holdsworth is not. Yep. Who's that? That's
Matty Payton.
Payton, I think. Yep.
Stevie Williams, Nigel Settle, and that's going to be Newman and 32, I think, was running off the pit road there.
Yeah, we'll get our in race pit reporters sprinting through each pit to determine who did take tyres and who didn't. But it certainly appears to my eye that Newman was the first of those who did take tyres to get off pit road there. Oh, gee.
Oh, geez, he nearly got away with it. Up into the fence. He's going to go for a wild ride here. Hopefully he can get it repaired. Oh, he tried to save it. He's still driving it. He's done
well. He's done well. Yeah, he's driving it the whole way through. So you'd hope that Trent has gotten away with not too much damage. There was a significant impact with the outside wall, but it didn't look from the outside too bad. But I would think it's going to need at least a couple of minutes. But hopefully they can get that scuff polished out of the number there to make it a bit prettier as well, just for the aesthetics, if anything else. But a setback does appear as though he probably will drop at least one lap by the looks of things as that gets repaired, because does not appear as though he's jumped out of the box yet. So a bit of trouble there for Trent, but on the bright side, there is a long way left in this race yet for him to recover, and unfortunately probably will need a bit of misfortune from his competitors, but one man's pain is another man's gain.
Speaking of bright side, we've got a mixed bag at the front of this field. We've got some that haven't taken any service, some have taken fuel only, some have taken tyres. So we're going to keep an eye on the start of this race to see if we get any tyre spin, wheel spin, and then just track their progress throughout this stint, because it's going to be interesting.
Interesting is an understatement, Dave. We remember last week there was a yellow very early in the piece, and of course Atlanta, a much different prospect to Autoclub, but it was chaos on that restart. So bit of wheel spin, got the field all jacked up, and next thing you know there was complete carnage. So I don't expect necessarily the same type of arrangement here with our front couple, but it is still something to consider, and perhaps a little bit of inexperience at the front of the field too, which is also a factor. You've got some guys that maybe aren't quite so used to being at the pointy end, so they're going to have these other fellas really give them no space whatsoever, and nor should they. So as we get ready to come to the green flag, Carl Withy enters the Geico restart zone, and there he goes. Green flag is waving. Barney going absolutely crazy. Carl gets a lovely jump and gets clear of P2, who did look to have a little bit of wheel spin and a bit of a bobble. That was Steve Gerber in the 61 machine, as they are looking three wide as anticipated. Who's that dropping to the bottom? That looks to be the 342 of Zachary Sears. He's wasting no time. Newman as well, just back in the pack a little bit there, coming through a three wide scenario, just sliced in the middle. Now he's looking low on looks like the 43 of Borg, as we ride on board here with Nigel Settle. Sort of got a little bit caught off guard on that restart himself there. Did not take tyres from what I could tell. He's back in the field a bit from where he restarted. And then we've got, look at that, Hornet's Nest up here with Mickelmore looking low, three wide. Nice move as they get themselves sorted out mid-corner. And
Settle on the sucker hole, mate.
Squeezing on the exit, that's right. And Stephen Williams there dropping back a little bit. He's another one of the non-tyre takers as we look three wide for the lead to the bottom of Newman there, looking low. 2x2. Zachary Sears, he's another one. He's got the fresh as well. He doesn't want to give up anything just at this stage. Of course, all speculative at this time as far as we're using guesswork on the who did and who didn't.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like we watching the telecast, you can see the cars go up. Sometimes they go up. Sometimes they just don't do anything. So that's what we're using basically here. But as you can see, Zach is all over the back of Newman right now, and we did see Newman's car go up. He's on the bumper right now, pushing him down that back straight. So they've just upped it a little bit. Fresh tyres, going pretty hard here. Few battle packs back there. Look at the guys back there, 3 wide, 2-3 wide back there. Someone's coming up the track there in the yellow colour. That might be Riley Curtis back there. No, it might be Bradley Cairns, I reckon.
Yeah, so don't be fooled if you see any of our data that says last pit. Don't be fooled. Not all of those are, taking tyres. Some of those just a splash of gas. Some could be right sides, left sides. Could be 4. But I think the pace is telling us who did and who didn't. So we're seeing some of those boys drop like a rock, and the others that are, peeling away well and truly at the front. So we have a bit of a breakaway with the front 3. And Phelps in P5. So strategies start to come into it, because if you took the tyres, you're gonna look like a hero now for sure, and like a clairvoyant. But if you did not take those tyres, well, for sure you're gonna feel the pain now, but it could come back to you later in the race. If there's a bit of a rash of cautions, you could find yourself as the Pied Piper with a free set, still sitting in the pits. Back in the pack a little bit. Sorry.
No, you're right. Aaron Ball looks like he's putting the pressure on these guys. So we got a new player up the front. We got Mitchell not too far behind as well. But Aaron's had a good run of form lately. We got Sammy Smith in the chat cheering on Borgie. But yes, he looks to the high side now as he tries to put some pressure on these 2 guys.
Oh, gathered it back up, but he's just fallen a little bit off the people there around him. So bit of a line astern with throughout most of the field. We're hearing lots of things throughout the field. Lots of chatter on the line there. Different guys are struggling. Different problems through the different fellas around the field. Like I said earlier, a bit of coming and going across everyone, heroes, losers, all that sort of things happening at this stage with those different tyres and everything else that's going on in the race. So we've got a bit of 3 wide action right now for looks like for P14, I guess that would be. Sort themselves out. Who is that truck that's making their way through there? They're on a bit of a charge.
Shot for 4. Send it up there, Powell, and get us the 4 wide here. So Stevie's still on the fight. On the fend, I guess you'd say. Withy, the 152, which is Lawler, Dino, and a car on the bottom, I think, is Brad. No, that's the 86. Sorry,
86. Yeah, the one I had my eye on was Tim Blundell was just charging through on the bottom. He's putting daylight to those guys. That tells me, without any other information to hand, that tells me that Tim's got himself a fresh set over a few of these guys. He's one of the ones that took tyres. He's started P25. He's charged up to 13th now, looking for a move to the outside for P12. In fact, just off screen here, as we do move to our leaders, who once again a nose to tail. We saw this from Zach last week, Dave, where he was happy to follow along to the car ahead and just kind of be a little bit circumspect and bide his time. I don't know if Brad's necessarily the one you'd want to just sit behind. I think you want to kind of assert yourself a little bit there, and because Newman will charge away at some point in time. I don't think this is he won't be showing his true pace for a long time. So we'll see how that strategy pans out for Zach. But he is a patient racer. We've seen that a couple of weeks in a row now.
certainly. I'm impressed with Aaron Borg here. He's hanging with these guys, and you can see down that back straight actually what the draft does here. He was a few car lengths back, and he got a double car draft up front, so just ranged up onto the back of the 342 car, triple number of Zach Sears. He's right on board. We're going to look over his shoulder as he enters turn 3 down here. Missing his head, but that's okay. He won't mind. Now we're working on lap 25. About to start lap 22. 26, I should say. There's all status quo at the front. Newman, Sears, Borg, and Mickelmore. He's slowly gaining on this pack, and Ruben Phelps is going with him. So, to be honest, Ruben, there's probably no point fighting right there. If they want to catch this pack, they can just work together, work their way straight up to the back of this thing, and try and throw their hat in the ring.
So I'm just, Dave. I love to look at the lap times and keep a bit of a track on, who's doing what, the comers and goers as far as that's concerned. Obviously, we are seeing, pretty consistent with the top three. They're essentially deliberately running together. But you see that P4, P5. As I say that, they make a bit of a liar out of me and run almost exactly the same lap time as the front couple. But they did have a bit of a pace advantage over the top three as they were close.
The lead up here.
Thank you.
Side by side. The lead says Zach's not going to sit behind Newman anymore, so he's going to try his hand here and just see if he can put the pressure on. Coming into turn 3 here, we'll just see if he can get clear. Newman's not going to fight him too hard as he tries to get down on that right rear quarter. He's just going to let him go and probably file him behind, and then Zach's going to take up the lead. We'll see if Newman's got anything to fight back down here into turn 1.
I think we've got Zach, clearly an avid viewer of the races that we broadcast here. Perhaps even tuned in to our commentary with that. It's like we had a direct line to him. But I think that is an important move, and use that clean air to your advantage. Get it on your nose, and then make Newman work for a little bit, work those tyres over a bit more, and see if you can't make something happen here. But another thing which I hadn't considered, Dave, I don't know if you had done the sums already and got the calculator out, but that yellow that we had, we spoke about earlier about the fuel scenario, and
yep.
If yellow falls at a certain time, what will that do for us as far as that's concerned? It looks like the yellow fell on lap 12.
Yeah.
Just by my very loose math, that is going to be close. So I'm going to burn the calculator and leave that one with me, and we'll come back and we'll see where we're sitting.
Yeah, definitely. And Zach was one of those guys that did the fuel save with Davo, who's not here tonight, but they were onto it pretty early, and they managed to save what they needed to get home there. So doesn't look like there's any saving going on here though, otherwise he wouldn't have taken a lead. So he wants that clean air, and you'd be surprised what the clean air does. Out front, like, just, I don't know, it correlates somewhat to real life, but yeah, clean air on the nose just makes the track handle a little bit better, looks after the tyres a little better. As we've got a few guys just trying different lines. We've got Mickelmore up at the top now, as he might have just scraped the wall there as he goes through, but yeah, this is now a 5-car train, 5-car battle, and let's see if the 31 of the 06 can do anything with his boys up front.
It's a 31, just streamlining the right side of his truck there on the outside wall. As I see, in fact, the 8 of Holdsworth doing the same, getting right up against the wall. He's struggling. He's obviously on those older tyres, hasn't taken a fresh set yet. Yep, thank you.
Drawing up.
I'm busy talking about a race that's happening back in P10, but you're right on it there, Dave. The numbers are interesting, and I think it will be, as they go side by side off 4 once again, 2 I should say. So the caution came on lap 12, and if you take 12 laps away from our total there, it leaves 2 exact stints of 36 laps. Now, 36 is our number for the fuel. Of course, we did have a couple of pace laps amongst that, so it should be just barely if our intel is accurate. Of course, once you're in the race, the heat of the race, as again they're side by side here for P3, and Ruben Phelps obviously trying to get amongst it as well. So this is a nice little battle. Mickelmore is on a bit of a run of form. He started off 25 quite strongly, but no more strongly than his performance at the Xfinity Series at Atlanta just a couple of days ago. Was probably the best driver on the day in that event, as they go side by side there through 3 and 4. Glorious racing between Phelps and Mickelmore, and also Borg there holding up high. But that's fantastic racing from those boys, keeping it nice and tight. And Josh is going to turn that into a challenge of his own for P3. He's got a nice boost off of 4 there, holding it on that first of all on that seam, but just cutting below that now. Just trying to get a nice cut in the bottom, a little bit loose coming off, but he's cleared him and he's got up in front of Borg delightfully, just to remove any run that Borg could have had to come back at him.
Newman down the inside of Zachary at the front now.
It's all happening every which way you look.
I'm not sure if something happened there. There was a bit of puff of smoke, and then Newman poked his nose out. So I don't know whether Zach may have got into the wall off 2, but Zach straight back to the bumper now and all in check again. But yeah, I'm not sure if he did. Just maybe had a little bit of a moment, and Newman took the opportunity to make the pass.
It's a great call, and just outside of shot as we get a replay here of an incident, David Lawler just struggling once again. It's that turn 2. It's this will be his third time. And you mentioned, Dave, you saw a bit of smoke. I wonder if that might be the culprit, but third time for Lawler off of turn 2. One time he got away with. Second time he took an innocent bystander, and third time might be the charm. He's in the pit road now. I think that truck is just struggling a little bit with its handling.
He needs to tighten that bad boy up.
Exactly. He needs to chuck a few rounds in that one because, that's obviously causing him some grief. But up at the front, Newman has got himself comfortably back in the lead, although Sears does not look content with sitting in second by any means. But that fuel situation will be interesting as Curtis, our Daytona winner, looks to the outside through turns 1 and 2.
He's working his way up there, up by 8 positions. Our biggest mover is Josh Mickelmore, which is up in the 3rd now, so he's finally cleared that car and can try and set sail after Newman and Sears out front. But we've got the 19. He's looking on the inside of the 4, which is Timo Blundell and Brad Wright. But as we said, there's a few different lines here. You've got the guys working the top, some working the bottom. It's not as easy to run that bottom and make the pass. The guy on top can run you down, he can run you tight, which makes you real tight off the exit. There's a risk he may come up, he may get into you on the exit, but it's all part of the racing. It's high speed chess.
That's it. And now we missed our segment earlier, Dave, just by a hair, as we've got a battle once again for the lead with Sears looking low. Yep.
Brad doesn't look like he's going to give it up as easy this time, though, so he's going to fight back on the inside. As I said, you can get down the inside, you do get tight on that exit, so Brad gave him plenty of space. He doesn't need to rub doors or bang doors or anything yet.
There's a little touch.
There's a little touch across the line just to loosen him up. The gloves are off here now. Let's see what happens. But Brad fought back straight away as Zach tried to take the lead. So yeah, it's going to get spicy. I think let's see it, boys. Gloves have at it.
I think the perhaps the smoke you saw might have in fact been coming out of Zach's ears by the looks of things. But that's an awesome run off turn 2 there from Cairns. He's shown a lot this season already. Excited for his progress as week on week goes. He's was a bit up against it at Daytona, sort of amongst the pack. By his own admission, was a little bit daunted by the whole situation, but he's certainly finding his feet as each week goes, and that's been beautiful to see. But as we see Phelps looking low on Borg. Borg's charge is kind of just distinguished a little bit. He was up there early, but I think maybe he's paying the price of that now. Ruben gets a little bit loose mid-corner off, but he's got that done, and he should be able to set sail based on the pace we've seen. But I mentioned in one of our segments that we missed, unfortunately, the lap 25, turn 3 check-in with Aaron Dorman. Let's see if we can just ride on board with him for a moment to see how his race is going. He's currently running in the P7 position, back a little bit off the field, but he's just fallen victim to...
He's going all right. He's going to look inside. He's going to face him.
There we go. As we say that, he gets a nice run. Yep, exactly. Gets a great run off the corner and should clear it, Cairns, before turn 1 here. So, Aaron, again, another one that's been pretty keen on his prospects for the truck this season. Having a good run tonight.
And out of turn, Gabby.
Look at that. Yep. Got the black visor on. That's good.
Yeah, look at that sunset down the back straight there.
That's it. It is. That's a consideration too, Dave. It's a great call because, you've got the sun staring straight into your face. If depends on how you've got your whole setup. If you've got a bit of a visor situation going on, but for the most part, you're going to get a lot of sun in your face, and that could play a bit of a role in how things pan out here. Once again, bit of a battle here. I think that's Dorman looking low on Curtis.
Yeah, I think it might be the other way around. I think Curtis.
Other way around. Sorry.
Yeah, I believe so. Curtis is going to be ranging up on the back of the 7 here. He's having a good race out there, old Riley, in 7th position, which is good to see. Is he going to take the low line? Is he going to run high? He goes low, and we'll see if he can get clear. One way he can do it is dive in there deep and then go up, almost like a slow job in dirt racing. We'll see if he comes up to the track here, gets nice and clear, and then see if he can just dominate that outside line. Don't get there low. He's going to get the outside again. There he goes. He stays there, and Brad's just going to fall in behind there now.
It's a great call, Dave. I fell victim there to the age-old problem of looking at the numbers instead of the actual footage. Yes, indeed.
We've got Newman. Looks like he was just getting a little bit loose on the exit there. Look at that for a shot as Zach's riding up down the back here. So Josh has closed that gap now, and now he's in this battle. But I did notice earlier in that first run that Numo was just getting a little bit loose on the exits at turn 2. You could see him working the wheel a bit. So whether he's going to make any changes, he may have made some changes in that first stop, but we'll see. But Josh is I think he's got the pace at the moment to possibly go past these two guys.
Well, that's a great call because based on the times we've got last time by. In fact, it was pretty close. Zaxi is faster than Brad, as you'd expect, as they work their way past the lap truck there. No issues, no problems. But Josh has been just fractionally faster than these two. Obviously the proof is in the pudding there. Yep. Yeah, he's right up on them. I think he's done a good job.
Oh, he's going to get tight.
Yes.
If I'm very wide down the front straight here, we'll see if Josh sticks with his teammate. He might just get on the bumper and just try and push him by. But Brad, he's going to fight it. So these guys are neck and neck here. This is a great race at the front.
Yeah, Brad is a hard but fair racer, but I also feel like the rope that he will give and the allowance he'll give Zachary here will be about as short as the gap between each truck. He'll give him maybe one go to get up and door him like that, but I think he's not going to lift on the exit. I can tell you that right now. He's going to let you know that he's there, and as he should, and he will take every opportunity he can. He will never die wondering.
Yeah, that's right. You can see the 3-4-2 sort of just fake to the inside just to try and.
Oh, he's going to get right up there.
Oh, there's the slide. He slides up and Zach comes back. This is great racing. That's what we want to see. The gloves off. The boy's going to touch down the middle straight. That's his neck and neck. Josh is just sitting back there enjoying this. He's got the best seat in the house at the moment.
This is a fantastic race. I wonder if Mickelmore was having a little bit of sort of flashbacks to the final lap of Atlanta. We touched on that result earlier. Bit of heartbreak for him at the finish, but I wonder if he's just sort of looking at that and maybe taking some notes himself for how he might want to approach this a bit later in the run. We are very much near to where those pit stops will start to be a factor. But look, if you're liking what you're seeing, and who wouldn't, make sure you get the old like and subscribe situation out there as they go very close and very well judged between these boys. They're racing super hard but super fair. That's what we love to see between them. Josh just peeking the outside a little bit. I don't know if that's where he would make his move ideally. It's not really looked to the top too much, although as I say that, he makes a liar of me and looks kind of the outside here. But I would suspect that Mickelmore tends to bide his time a little bit. Would love to see actually Josh kind of attack here a little bit. Especially if we're nearing pit stops. Don't wait. Go for it now. Get it done and get yourself up ahead, and maybe see if you can put some daylight between these boys who you would expect to use their tyres a little bit more, use their equipment a little bit more in their battles as they, once again, side by side off the exit of turn 4, racing towards the start-finish line.
Yeah, certainly. So it's going to be interesting. These are guys that are running close. This is a great race. You want to be able to run close like that and respect each other. So far, so good. It may go over the edge, but that's how it is. Sometimes you just got to race for that, and if it happens, it's racing.
That is the that is the beauty of this type of track. We've touched on it a couple of times now, but there's so many lines and different ways you can approach it that you get this sort of glorious side-by-side action. As once again, they're side by side. Zach a little bit loose on the bottom as it gets right up into the door of Brad. Nothing wrong with that. Josh is just going to come right up behind Sears' bumper there. Maybe just try and push him clear. Love to see a big dive to the bottom. Yeah. But Josh just kind of bides his time. He does look low now.
Yeah, as the 342 runs the middle, shoots the middle, as the 33 is going to run high. He's going to get the momentum off the top here.
3 wide off the exit too. And there's also a lap car, or lap truck, I should say, behind us. Just to add a bit of spice to this, but I don't think he wants to get involved. He's sort of a front seat view, 3 wide once again through 3 and 4.
You get your money's worth today, folks. Enjoy this. This is great racing out the front here. It's this lap car. It may play a part in this. Oh, there's another touchdown there. Newman gets sideways there. He saves it again from the 342. It's just that little crossover. He just might be a little bit cheeky there. Just saying, yep, hello, I'm welcome. Hello, how you going? And who is that car behind the 61? So let's see if he plays a part, because he may just get in the road. Well, not in the road, but he's gonna he's fighting as well for what he's going to be coming back from a lap down, but. He may just place the car in the wrong spot, especially if these guys are using the whole track at the moment to race. They're going in deep, they're going to the top, they're sliding it off as the 342 goes in really deep. And you can see him pull up and just try and hold that low line there, so he just blocks the run, almost like the old stop pass, as they call it. He did.
Yep,
that was a late call. I wasn't sure. Very good. So he's the first one to hit pit road.
This could be an interesting play, because he's obviously going to have the fresh tyres to be able to sort of get scooting while this is all happening. I wonder if he might be able to get a bit of clear air and just kind of break that toe.
Yeah, but let's see what the 342 does here. See if he's going to come back and just if he leaves it too late, the advantage will go back to Newman. But if he wants to come in, this is probably the ideal lap. But we'll see what he does here. If he doesn't look like he's stopping, he's marching on.
Yeah, because they are just within that fuel range now. If you're not going to come the lap after, you've kind of got to go at least a couple more to then get that offset, because you've kind of already been duped. But a note on that 61 that's just got themselves around the leaders there. He was on the outside front row on that restart. He was one of the trucks that did not pit along with Carl Withy. They are really up against it now based on when they've pit. And that's why I think we both said at the time, Dave, you'd at least want to come down and get some fuel, because they've put themselves in a box now. As we've got some more takers on pit road, but
definitely. I'm a big believer. I don't want to give away my secrets, but I'm a big believer in don't bet on what has to happen. Like, if you got the tyres, you got to live for the now. For me, you got 3 sets. I would have taken tyres there for sure, because if it stays green, then you're literally wasting a set. Do what you can that's in your power to win this race. If you don't do that and you lose, whatever, you've done what you can do. If you don't take them, you haven't done what you can do, because you got a set sitting over the wall, wasting. Do everything in your power to win the race. Don't bank on another caution. That's the way I see it. So as Holdsworth, I can believe he's going to stop this time by. But that's my little secret there for everyone out there. If you want to know, we've got the guys coming down pit road now. Zach Sears hits pit road. He's going to get it down in time. It's a tough one to get down to the pit road speed he is. They're all in here now too.
And that's what we said. We sort of expected that if they didn't get that straight down there, they've obviously gone a couple of extra laps just to try and offset the tyres and see if that can help them out. One thing that's happened off screen, not sure what's happened, but the 58 truck of Matt Patton has run into some difficulties himself. He's currently 3 laps down, looks to be in the pit still, so some troubles there on the 58 machine. Not sure what's happened there. Bit of struggle. I think that was Nigel getting all right out sideways on the entrance to pit road.
Yeah, so let's have a quick look at Chooch there. But, sometimes it can be a risk coming to pit road. He can cause a caution. He may overcorrect it, get back up on the track. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that all pans out. As we know, the 33 was the first to hit pit road. Now they've taken a service. That will be the last stop for the race, unless we get a caution. So they've got plenty of tyres in the bank. Yeah, it works out. There's the barrel,
Yeah.
we've got the guys back there.
Well, I wonder about the tyres. Dave, because they've got 2 in the pits, right?
No,
So they've taken.
I did go and check, so I've got more intel on that. There's 3
Oh,
sets.
there's
So starting the
3.
race at 4, they got 3 over the fence, over the wall.
Well, I'll have to scribble that out of my notebook and put
Yeah,
put 3 in there.
I did want to confirm that, and that's where I disappeared to before, but just to make sure, and that question marks why you wouldn't take the tyres on the first one as well. Like, it's a 2-stop race, you got 3 sets. You got to
Yeah,
take
that
them bad
definitely
boys.
answers that. Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, I went down to one of our lower budget teams who only had 2, just for budgetary reasons.
Mate, that's okay. They're doing their best out here. We won't name names, but they're doing their best.
That's right. It needs all types, so no, keep trucking away there. But Newman is charging.
Yeah, certainly. He might just build that gap enough. You know, they came in, what was it, 2-3 laps later, max maybe. So the tyre difference isn't massively different, but the power of that undercut. Well, time on a track is everything, and track position, I suppose, as well. We always hear talk about track position and racing. It's key.
We spoke about this with Holdsworth. Obviously, a different scenario for Holdsworth in terms of the Newman equation, but Holdsworth's raced last week. He was on the charge, coming through and kind of had to close that big gap. Sears is in a similar position to Holdsworth, but obviously a much smaller amount, as we see a big gaggle of trucks here. But you know, Zach obviously has that 6 odd second deficit to catch up, but he's currently getting. Last time by, he was 3/10 quicker, and that was the same for the last 2 laps. In fact, 3/10 quicker than Newman up ahead. So, what he needs to do, as we spoke about multiple times last week, was not overusing your stuff early. So Zach will have that advantage now with those slightly fresher tyres, but he wants to make sure that he doesn't spend it all now, because you're going to need it later. And I suspect that Newman will be thinking the same thing when he's come out there. He hasn't been tearing it up to get everything out of those tyres. He wants to make sure there's something for a bit of longevity. As Nigel Seidel looks low on Bradley Cairns. I might have done myself in by looking at the data instead of the footage there again, but it looks like Nigel's the stronger of the 2, making his move.
Yeah, and the old moo cow, the old dairy cow livery in the 69.
We haven't seen him down in the grass this week.
No, he hasn't done any clippings or harvesting this week, so probably done plenty of that in real life, but left the harvester at home this week in race, mate.
That's it. Now we're just having a look there at a truck coming down into the pits. A few dramas there, but obviously our focus. We've currently got like you said, the moo cow on there, and it's lovely to see Nigel having a good run. Like I sort of said earlier, he's pretty bullish about his prospects. Currently running in the 13th position, but with speed to burn, he's certainly faster than the trucks around him. So if he can keep that current speed, he should be able to get himself well and truly inside the top 10. So
yeah, definitely. The guy I'm keeping an eye on is Riley Curtis as well from Nitro Racing. So he's up 9 positions, currently running 7th, and he's just slowly worked his way forward. So
Nigel gets into the 08.
He does. The 08. That's Maxie Marshall, I believe. He does. No, we're going to go yellow. That changes everything.
That does change everything. Poor old Maxie's the innocent bystander, but then he's found every other truck he could to hit along the way after that. But that does indeed change everything. So they all should have another set in the bank.
Yeah,
well, except for your people who didn't pit earlier or didn't get tyres, I should say. They definitely pit, but your Stephen Williams, your Holdsworths and co, they obviously will have. Look at that, just kind of snuck through.
Bradley Cairns,
poor Bradley,
he gets
I hate that for him. And there's that Brad Wright.
Yep. Oh, look at him spinning. He shouldn't have too much damage there, Brad. I think he might be able to bit that first gear, grab a gear, and get going.
But did he get the inside wall? I wonder. Yeah, Nigel's just kind of gone in a little bit deep.
Yeah, up on the door of the 08 there, and look, he might have heard us on the agricultural call last week. And, he said, "I'm going to go one better this week. We're going to do some scrap metal."
He saw that Hydrolink, whatever, and he thought, I need some of those, and realised, oh, heck, I'm in this corner too deep. But
Look at that. We got the sunset. We got Bradley
now,
just getting down there. He's coming through.
I want to see the
Maxie
19 here. I want to see the 19 here, Dave, because I think he
right.
mentioned he shouldn't be too bad, but I think Brad might have collected that inside wall.
There he goes. Oh, he probably should have went right instead of Brad
he's
right.
going to keep it off the wall. Yes. Oh, we'll never know. We'll never know. It's the great unknown.
Here we go. Race speed. Here we go.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's a big hit in the left rear. Hopefully he hasn't broken the track arm.
Yeah.
Is he going to get it? Oh, he does.
Oh, no, he very much gets the wall.
Yeah, that's rough. That'll be close to not over there. That was a decent lick into that inside safer barrier.
That was a hard hit in here.
So all the boys, they come down for some new rubber.
Except
Newman.
Have a look if we can get a shot in a moment. But I can see that top couple have all stayed out. So this is your drivers that didn't take that earlier.
That's a big call. I don't know about that, Danson.
Wow, it's yeah.
That's massive. The top 4, what's that? 5, 6 guys all stayed out by the looks of that.
I can only imagine they're thinking, what happens if we get a yellow in 10 laps? I mean, your call from earlier was don't try and account for the maybe, play the here and now. I just wonder. Right.
I like it. I like it. I mean, because it's not me. I like the call because it's going to make fun for us. But I'm not sure about it. But anyway, we'll see what we get here because that's just going to make it very interesting. So who was the first that did come down in the lane then? Was it Holdsworth? It must be Holdsworth because he was up running around the back end of the top 10 and I saw him in the pit lane. So he'd have to be the first one on the fresh tyres, I'm going to say, in the 8 car in 10th position. I believe he's going to line up at the end of this.
Yeah, that appears to be
let's watch that. And remember what happened to the 98 early on? You could see the difference on screen, the pace difference.
That's true. Just going to have a it's definitely Holdsworth. It has to be the 8. That's the first one off.
And while we're under this caution, get on the Facebook, get on the YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, enjoy what you're seeing. Let's get amongst it, guys. Get amongst it.
That's the entrepreneur.
Get in the chat. W's in the chat.
It's obviously new season, lots of excitement. Definitely, we've had some sensational racing the first few events already. So, we just got a masterclass there from the top 3 just prior to the sequence of pit stops. So we can only expect that to continue here. So definitely, jump on the old like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets.
Exactly, Matthew. That's it. But I'm thinking that they have to be thinking about a late caution here. Is the only reason they're keeping their tyres. With the likes of Holdsworth, he didn't take those tyres on the first one, so he got a free set. So now he still has one set equal to the guys in front up his sleeve. So I can only assume that's what they're counting on, is just keeping that there as a safety deposit if there is a yellow, and they're just going to fight with what they got for now. So look for the 8 here because he's going to be blazing.
Yeah, I mean it has to be that's all it could be, surely. But pace car has its lights out. Newman is your leader. Sears P2. Will they resume that close quarter battle? Everything's all to play for here. As Newman ranges up on the Geico restart zone. When will he go? There he goes. He goes somewhat early. Gets a nice jump on Sears. Nickelmore tries to go with him on the bottom. And I think Brad will be clear. Yeah, he definitely will. There's no think. He's far and away clear as they enter turn 1. Nickelmore challenging Sears on the bottom. Those two will have the same tyres. There's nothing between that. But Newman, obviously at a slight disadvantage. Probably this first 1 or 2 laps, you won't really see that make too much of an impact. But after that, once everything's up to temperature, Brad will be up against it, trying to fend off these guys. But the truck to look out for will be the 8. And can he be patient? We saw it Atlanta. He had that tyre advantage. He had the charge, and he used it a little bit too much too soon. Hopefully that lesson is sitting in the mind of the 8 of Holdsworth. As once again, they're side by side up front for the lead. Sears looking low. Newman on that stronger high line. They're also 3 wide back there for P5.
Yeah, that's Curtis, and I think that's Borg out there with the 8 on the inside of Holsworth. So here he comes, the charge coming. So I guess the thing in the favour of the guys at the front maybe is the racing's going to amp up here, and the risk of a caution is going to be much higher because we're 20 to go. You've got to get what you can get here. So it's go time. And if we can see the guys there, you can throw a rock over those top 4 us. We've got them all side by side. Split it and go 4 wide, boys.
I just had a quick gaze to see what the situation was between Phelps and Micklemore and the other 2 up front as far as tyres. Micklemore, Phelps, and Sears all appear to have pit on the exact same lap. It was just only Newman who did come down those couple laps earlier.
There's a block down the back straight as the 33 just ducks out. The 342 just jinked a little bit to the left as he ducked out, but he stuck with it, kept the foot flat. Look in the background, the 8's ranging up on the back of this pack. They're going to be side by side, door to door off the bottom here.
Right against each other.
Here comes the 8. There's a block. Sorry, Dave, I'm getting excited. We're going to go forward, maybe down to the turn 1.
That's glorious. We need to just pass the mic to each other so we don't trip over, because this is sensational. As the 8 makes a huge lunge on the bottom, obviously with those fresher tyres. Can he clear?
Oh, there's going to be contact. What a race.
Amazing racing. Yeah, that's...
The nitro cars all lined up at the top.
Lost words trying to regain my breath.
As we thought, so the 8 has now cleared. So we told you those tyres were going to be good. So there'll be others that come with him too, I believe. I'm not sure that Andy Barber, I think, might be the next one to come along. So he's in the number 5 because he's come from nowhere and now he's running 8th at the moment. So he's going to have a crack at this as well. As you've got the nitro cars out front, right? He's holding them back there, but Newman's just dropped back to 5th now. So all of a sudden, everything's changed.
Yeah, the race has been turned upside down, and a sinking feeling for the 33. Oh, jeez, as they get very close for comfort. It was at the 152 of Lawford.
That's the 5 we're talking about. I think he's got the new tyres coming through. She's giving Riley a push down the back straight at the moment.
Yeah, I was just getting a little bit nervous by the 152, just kind of a little bobble off turn 2. But yeah, Curtis the 93, he's sort of doing his thing, but the 5 has a head of steam. He's looking low, looking middle. He's trying to do everything he can, and rightly so. Got to use that advantage while he can.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just going to have to get in there and send it. So we've got them right up on the fence up through here.
Look at that. Using every line. You love to see that, don't you?
Yeah, he may even use the fence at some point too, I reckon.
It's just, we'll get a good shot of it here.
Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. Look at all the trucks in every possible lane.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
and Andy
awesome
on the guys trying to do something with it in the middle there. He's got Stevie Williams now. He's the next one coming. You remember he didn't take the tyre, so he's next in the box here. So he's making progress a little bit faster than Andy. Andy sort of got there and sort of slowed down a bit. But you know Stevie Dale, he won't hold back. He'll send it. Withy, the 65 down there on the bottom line. He's working his way around. We've got cars from the top to the bottom. We're all into 5 up there. We've got Lawler. We've got Dean Power. We're going to bang doors. We've got doors in the fences up here. The boys are getting antsy.
We've got some bids in the chat as far as what possible outcomes we could see. Trevor Micklemore, I think he'd be a little bit swayed as far as where his allegiance lies, but he says Holdsworth for the win if we stay green, the 31 if we get a caution. I don't think you're too far off the mark there, but let's not count the 31 out just yet. Although they are up against it when it comes to the tyre situation. Once again, 3-4 wide, in fact, back in the pack here.
Sammy Smith in the chat there. He's still cheering for Borgie up the front there. He says they're going to do a Stephen Bradby, clean them all out at the front, and Borg just comes through and backs one in.
I think that's a bit of heart over the mind stuff there for Sam Smith, I'm afraid, at this stage. Borg dropping back, he's up against it, that's for sure. But we spoke about it.
He just leaps it off the fence.
We need not hold our breath, Dave, because these guys have shown us throughout this race that they can happily race side by side, getting right up on each other and have no issue. It's been fantastic. Yeah, been fantastic racing the whole time. A small part of me, obviously, you never want to see a caution, but a small part of me just wants to see what could happen with another little spanner in the works and some more tyres, but
From where
this
I'm
is
sitting, bring out a yellow.
exactly. But sensational racing from these fellas. Ruben's pretty committed to running the top line at the moment. It looks like trying to get that momentum off the top. The front few are sort of starting to get themselves pretty spaced out. But I think that's Ryan Barber looking
Yeah,
on.
I have to call that Junior. He's not on the caution right now. So Junior Barber, son of Andy, he's come up, saw what Andy was doing, and said, "Nah, I want some more of that." And he's taken over, and he's moving through. So he's up to P5 now for the young fella.
Another mover is just to the. Well, he's right there now. I was going to say to the back of this group, but he's right there. Stephen Williams dropped like a stone in the after that first yellow because he didn't take the tyres, but he's on a charge again. I mentioned it at the top. Yeah, he wanted to go, didn't he? And so he should get in there.
There
we go. That's what we like to see. Now, Stephen was the winner from 2024 in this race, so he's got pedigree. He's got experience in how to execute this one. I just wonder, not to put the Mozza on him, but we've spoken about Holdsworth and his somewhat shaky ability to hold him to the tyres as Williams gets right up there and just uses every inch of the track. But Holdsworth, he's not really covered himself in glory lately when it comes to his tyre saving and execution of races. So hopefully he can better that this evening. But can Williams turn that in his favour to make a bit of a late race charge? There's still 12 laps, which at Autoclub is a long time, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Danson up here tearing strips off the race leader at the moment, and he can't defend himself. I love it. And we've got Zach Sears, Ruben Phelps still there, holding on to the front. But there's guys coming. You've got the looks of. I saw Dorman. He's knocking on the door of the top 10 here. It's really flipped the script here.
Here's the 152 Lawford. He was having a bit of a charge early. He's coming back now. Riley didn't get tyres on that stop, from what I recall. Dave, I think you'll have that.
Yeah, no,
that
you wait till I
intel.
speak to Riley, mate. I'll teach him a lesson there. I've always told him he went his own way tonight. Didn't listen to the crew chief.
He's definitely got to.
Protege. He was going to turn with you then. He's right on his back bumper there on the inside.
Both the top had the 5 up in the fence, and on the bottom you had Nigel. Oh, as the 5 is in the wall once again. But Nigel Seidel in the 69 was right up on.
Right down there.
Was with
bottom separating the bottom of the track there of the 65, the tailgate of the 65.
Aaron's trying to do what he can on the bottom there. I think he's one of those takers of the tyres, but he's getting after it. We checked in with him earlier on. He was having a good run.
Yeah,
he's kind of on the recovery now. Exactly, 10 to go. Thank you, Dave.
Look at this run here for Carl. He's going to try to go 3 wide on the inside. He's going to wrap the bottom. Can he get clear on exit? Yes, he can. He'll just slide up there, take that away from him. Skirlock will be proud of that moment. Bottom separating.
As they sort of get themselves sorted out off turn 2, you can see it's kind of starting to single out a little bit, but I suspect there's, yes, as Michael makes a fool of me and dives low on Phelps, but I think that's actually Phelps coming back if we from where we last left this off. So Rubens saved his stuff, and there he goes. He clears Josh on the top side, and there's Williams as well, continuing his charge forward.
I was just going to mention the 98. Has he used too much to get to the pack to these guys? I'm sure he's used plenty, but he's still going to have a little bit more. So while these guys are racing, he's going to have to take advantage of it and just put them in a position that they don't want to be, make them uncomfortable.
Well, Dave, let me not put the commentator's curse on the number 8 truck, but we did mention the lap times, and he was putting in some record numbers earlier. As Micklemore gets very sideways to the 3 and 4, he's fighting that off the corner, and he's taking a little bit of a bite out of the fence there, and he's going to pay the price down the front stretch. I think that's a lap truck of Dean Poe, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. But in terms of the lap times, Williams starting to get a bit of an equilibrium. You mentioned about has he used too much. I think he's trying to pace it out. It would require Holdsworth to completely fall off the face of the earth as far as lap time is concerned at this point, but obviously it's something to keep an eye on, and
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we should probably give the teams a shout out here too. We got Nitro eight in the 8 leading. We got Sears Nitro, Phelps, which is SRM, Williams DPR, Simmons DPR, Mitchell Moore also in a Nitro, and we got Newman, which is Lobs Esports in the top 5 or top 6, I should say, and Andy Barber, Southern Stars. So there's a lot of different teams up here. Lawford, geez, we've got a different team almost in the top 10.
Spot on. You've got, like you said, obviously Nitro, certainly well represented. But then you've got those other groups such as DPR and Lobs that have their sort of their lone rangers, I guess you'd say. Nigel right up there using the wall. He's not afraid. He's going to make this work. I think on exit, yes, he's got to the right rear of the 293. Love to see that. He should get a nice run here. Now we'll bring Nigel up into the P10 position, I want to say. No, I'm making a liar of myself. P11. But that's a good run. He just needs... I think a top 10 would be a great result for Seidel. He'd be very satisfied with that, and he looks to have the pace on Barber and Borg ahead of him.
Yeah, he certainly does, and with he just crossing lanes behind the Dorman in front of him as he goes low. You can see Withy just nosing just to the right of the screen there. But yeah, we're going to be working with 5 to go here. Next time by, it's we're closing down his laps. You got the leader out there who's on those nice brand fresh new tyres. Well, not new anymore because he's put in a 39.9 as the fastest lap. He's going hard, but now he's going to be just wishing and begging that see that green flag or the white flag, because the white flag, once you get to that white flag, the next flag's going to be checkers no matter what.
That's it. Well, nice move from Nigel on middle off there to get low on Borg, and he's looking for P9. His charge is not finished yet, but coming at 4 to go, like you said, for Holdsworth, he certainly appears to have managed this quite well. As far as the lap times are concerned, he definitely has the advantage, even over Williams, who is on that similar tyre strategy. I think charging through the the traffic as he was, I think for Williams has probably made it a bridge too far, but it is sort of leveling out now, which would actually make it rather interesting if there was a yellow, in fact, because he's right up there.
Yeah, they're having a go. Stevie's trying to make the move. So this is a move for the podium here. So this is for 3rd place. This is bragging rights and a podium here. So Stevie's going to try and get this done. And there's 4 laps remaining here as he goes low and see if he can. He just Rubens overdrive the corner there. Maybe he might get a bit of a chance on the exit.
It's the chance to get to speak to us, Dave, that they're fighting for here, and you can see how much that means to these guys. They are going hammer and tong to make it happen. Unfortunately, Micklemore's charges has come unstuck tonight due to the tyre situation. Similar story for Newman, and I think obviously Sears in a similar position up there in P2, but probably would have liked to have gotten more from this race than what they're going to come away with. Just unfortunate with the way the strategy did play out.
Yellow flag is out.
As I say
wow, it's a yellow flag, mate. What
this changes
hell?
everything, David.
Oh my word, that is massive at this point in the race. That is massive. There's 3 to go, mate. I believe Dorman's involved. We can see Chooch. He's on the screen at the moment, the 36. But I tell you what, let's get a replay here first.
He's made a big charge on the middle.
Dorman's using the wall riding.
Goodness me.
Carl. Oh my word.
That's 4 into probably where 3 should definitely fit, but I don't think the others were fully aware of what was coming up to their outside there. Let's see those boys on the bottom.
43 was letting her eat on the outside. You've got Barber through the middle there. Withy coming up the track there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think, Dave, I'll get your take on this in a second, but I think that's just Carl not having the situational awareness on what's happening above and around him, and he's just come straight. I think even if, to be honest, and we'll get a second look at it, but I think even if there wasn't that 36 truck coming up in there, I think there would have been a wreck regardless.
Now, I'm going to throw a defence out here for Carl. Spotter will not call 4 wide. Spotter will only call 3 wide. So if he doesn't know there's a 4th car at the top there, he's thinking, oh, yeah, maybe. But it's definitely Carl coming up that's instigated that. But, he doesn't know he's 4 wide at that point. Yeah,
I suspect that we'll go that sort of wide look that we had before. I just wonder if that trajectory would have still had him up in and here they all come in now. So you're 100% right. There was still that extra set because no one's coming in here for fuel. there was definitely that extra set still sitting in the pits. We do have one taker staying out, trying to see what they can do.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that Williams could be thinking is just hope for an early caution. But then you've got to deal with 3 green white checkers. So you have to get 4 quick cautions to win this race, or get to the white in the lead. That's a tough task when these boys are all going to be on fresh rubber.
Yeah, you're going to need to jump that pretty severely to.
I'll tell you whose eyes lit up. That guy there on screen, the 33. His eyes lit up when that yellow flag came out. I can tell you that.
That is true. I would expect. I'll be let down if Brad is not taking this 7 wide when he gets the opportunity. But I think the ones to look for here for sure. Obviously, Holdsworth will be thinking, "Gosh, I was within reach. I'd save my tyres this time." And then Micklemore, Sears, they've shown a lot of speed. They'll be excited. They'll be up and about.
That's
They'll
right.
be up on the wheel.
Frustrating for Holdsworth, but he's not out of it. Like he's on equal terms now. Now he's just going to have to do some driving. Before he was doing it easy. Now he's going to have to drive for it.
It's going to be. So who we got? It's definitely shaking out that we've got. Okay, it's exactly like we expected. So everyone coming in, excluding Williams, means he's not even got any real backup behind him,
which is
can't even put any trucks between them to get him a bit of daylight, a bit of a chance to calm before the storm. But I think probably a good time to our viewers who are tuning in and have got to see all the chaos so far and the brilliant racing. What do we expect to unfold? There was a few calls. Trevor in the chat had Holdsworth for the win. 31 if we get a caution was mentioned earlier. Well, you got your caution. This is your moment for your boy to step up and really go for it. I think that's a good bet too.
We got Sam asking for how many tyres they have. So they start with 4 sets, 1 on the car, 3 over the fence. So basically that should be all their tyres spent now.
Yeah, that's everything. They've thrown everything at it.
For Williams, I reckon he's still got a set over the fence. He's going for the speculator.
Well, DPI, they had a number of other trucks in the previous seasons, down to only 1 truck. They've obviously scaled back operations, perhaps budget issues, perhaps that's the need to only not use too many sets. Sometimes these considerations have to come in. So, look, hopefully Stephen can make it work. He was the winner again from last year. He wants to go back-to-back. It'd be a huge accolade for him, and he gets to come talk to us. So we're coming to the green, and then we're going to get the white, all things being equal, and then the checkered. So pace car pulls in.
Take it away, Benson. Take it away. This is going to be exciting. Stick around, guys. It's going to be all over in about 2 minutes.
You're not wrong. Green flag. Williams gets a huge jump there, perfectly timed, and Holdsworth does not go with him. Sears just trying to keep himself aligned to the left rear of Holdsworth to not let him get down and make a good run into T1 here. Williams, watch him to struggle the middle off. It's going to actually probably get a little bit jacked up as they're 2 by 2. Phelps looking where he can.
He's doing his best job he can at the moment. He's hanging on right now. This is where it's going to get tough. These guys are up to speed now. And in the exits where those guys will gain that speed as well. He can dive in there. But this mid-turn here, look at that. Look at the pace differdifference.
Massive pace difference, and you're getting stuck behind that. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not the lane you wanted to be in, that's for sure. So Newman's got Holdsworth has a great run off turn 4 to clear and take the lead. Has Phelps got anything? Has Sears got anything for that? I think that's unfortunately extinguished Newman's chances. Sears looking low on Phelps for P2. That's music to Holdsworth Sears, unless Phelps sticking high. That's delightful. They're going to get into each other. No, they're not. Goodness me, that's great racing for P2 there. Still side by side. Micklemore looking low on the entrance to 3. What can he do? I think it's curtains though. It's going to be a Holdsworth win for sure. It's now just a matter of the final placings behind. Micklemore looking low on Phelps, still side drafting. Phelps trying to get up on Sears. Oh, gee, dead heat for P3. I want to see who that was. It was Phelps by 0.02 of a second. Fantastic race to the line. You'd be dirty if you were the 33, possibly even the 31, because obviously getting caught up behind Williams on his older tyres, you where he finished, P13 for Williams. 2 laps, goes from first to 13th. That's what that decision did. I think it's easy to look on it in retrospect, but I think running P4, I think it was, or P5 before that caution, he'll be kicking himself. He would have had a good chance had he taken those tyres. I don't think that was ever really going to pan out with the no tyre situation. But look, sensational race. I'm out of breath. All of that top 5 drove brilliantly. Close quarters the whole way. No inch given, no inch asked, and yeah, wow, great win for Holdsworth.
Yeah, definitely needs to work on his burnout. So that was pitiful effort, Jason. If you watch this back, mate, give us a bit more of a show, mate, next time. But yeah, good racing. That was entertaining. That's like I said, they spoiled us up here. Let's run through the results. We got Jason Holdsworth holding on, Nitro Racing P1. Zachary Sears, Nitro Racing P2. Ruben Phelps, SRM P3. And Micklemore, another Nitro guy out there in P5. It's Brad Newman.
Yeah, I think to your point about the burnouts as we work our way through the remainder of the finishing order there, but I think for Holdsworth, obviously not a great deal of experience with that. So this is an exciting moment for him to, put his name up in lights on the big stage and get a win. And hopefully this can be a vision to more future success for him. But P6 for Lawford, good result for him. He's charged up through the field.
That's our guy, P7.
Exactly, yeah. Carl really making it work there. He's obviously had a huge charge at the finish there, despite almost getting cleaned up and then being ultimately the cause of that caution. So it's a bit of a self-fulfilling situation there for him. But Riley Curtis, P8, Andy Barber, P9, which is a really nice result. And Timo Blundell, P10. I think he'll be very pleased with that. That was a good drive from Tim. Cairns, P11. Nigel, unfortunate finish there for him, P12. He was running really nicely before that caution, was looking for a solid top 10. Williams, as we spoke about, dropped all the way like a stone to P13 once again. He had a real up and down night, did Stephen Williams, last year's winner. Aaron Dorman, P14. Powell in 15. Blundell, 16th. Mitchell, Barber, and making up the top 20, we've got Borg, who had a really solid night but finished last on the lead lap as it was, and then Lawler in P20, who had we saw him having all sorts of troubles. Evidently got that truck sorted out enough to bring himself into a top 20. So as the list of results there, just scroll through on the screen for you. Dave will in a moment bring in our finishers, but obviously first thing I have to say about all of that, goodness me, the racing and the etiquette, I guess, shown in a certain way from all of that top 5. They're all racing each other at one point in time. Probably some of the best racing I've seen in the Aussie scene for quite some time. They've got a lot to be proud of. I'll let you grab our P3 finisher tonight. It was Ruben Phelps, and you have a chat to him and see how his night went.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was great racing out front there. As we've got Ruben Phelps, I should say, in the booth. That's a pair of third place finishers, mate. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a fight at the end, but didn't really have the truck, but I mean, it was fine, but still, it's a third place.
Yeah, it seemed like you were short run pace was not too bad though. Like in the early stages, you were going with those guys. You fought back up to catch up to the 3 guys there at the front, where you sort of went along with the 31 there for a bit, but just not there in the long run pace.
Oh, I think the truck, because I didn't do any practice at the start of this event, so I didn't know what I had underneath me, but it turned out the top was a little bit better. So obviously with the trucks in front of me and the bottom obviously getting tighter, the heat of the nose being, thing with the dirty air, it sort of took the front tyres off a little bit and I lost ground. But once I sort of started getting the top to work, I started closing back up before that set of pit stops. And then, of course, that yellow with, 27 laps to go sort of changed the whole strategy with, those guys who didn't change tyres moving up to the front somewhat. So, but either way, it was, I got out, I got whatever I can get out of it.
Yeah, definitely we saw that, but we did see some nice close quarter racing there as well. Guys lean on each other. They must have been enjoying that.
Oh, that was fun at those last couple of laps with good racing, and no one actually hit each other. Well, I mean, there was a little bit of balking going on, but either way, still got food.
Oh, that's it, mate. It was very entertaining from our standpoint. Mate, floor's yours. Give you a shout out, sponsors, teammates. Go for it.
Of course, SRM Australia, Matty Ray and Bud. I don't know where. Well, don't know where they all went to tonight, but of course our sponsors, Scotch's Race Fuels. What's our other? There's our two charities of Australia Alopecia and Tears to Reach Australia, Moondog, and our Sticker Co. Well, Cut 6 Sticker Co.
Brilliant work. Well done in the third place, and we might see you next week at the Kota. I think we are going to. So road course, mate. How do you feel? You going to have some luck there, mate, or what?
I'll be putting the laps in.
Yeah, good man. All right, we'll see you next time then, eh?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks.
Sensational. So we're just seeing the pictures on the screen of what I was losing my nana over. The super tight finish for P3 between Mickelmore and Phelps, and Phelps did just edge him out for two thousandths of a second it was in the end. So that's how much we spoke about it, Dave. How much these boys want to speak to us. That's what they were fighting for, and Ruben was fortunate enough to win out that battle this time. But look, I'll let you take the reins of this one once again. You've got Zach Sears had a great run, 2 P2s in a row for him. Yeah, take it over, Dave.
Yes, certainly. So we've third place and second place this week. So same as last week, Zach. Pretty interesting race. Nice, tight, close quarter racing, mate. Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I wouldn't say Atlanta's not fun, but this one was definitely a lot more fun. Just being able to throw sliders. You have a track that has 5 lanes, and you can use all 5 lanes here, and it's a fun time here.
Yeah, we definitely put on a show for us. As I was saying, dancing earlier, you sort of spoiled us, and we're lucky to be able to call these races, I suppose. But what was your truck like setup wise? You find it over the run, like because you had short runs, you had long runs. What did you feel?
I felt like I lacked short run. I mean, obviously there at the end it prevailed. This week, it was a little hotter than officials, about 10 degrees hotter. So we had to make a slight change to setup. But other than that, it was, just go run what we had for officials. And kind of just hope for the best and don't burn the tires off early. Was what I was trying to do. And then finally I got clean air. It was just like, yeah, I don't like this. So I tucked back behind Newman. Just to try to save a little bit more tire, and he pitted a little earlier than I thought he was going to, which I kind of guess would give us the advantage at the end, and then that late race caution came out and kind of jobbled some things up.
Yeah, did we noticed that you also stayed out, so you didn't gamble on taking those sets of tyres, which obviously ultimately paid out in the end. You could go in and get some fresh rubber for the green white checker, but were you? Because at that point you were still in second place, so you held on through that run plus the old tyres. Were you worried if the caution came then or not, or you sort of just hoping you'd just see it out and finish P2, but ended up there in the end? But at that point in time, what were you thinking?
I was looking at the lap times. I saw Stevie Dub coming, and I saw Ruben running kind of a slide job line, so that kind of put it to my advantage to where that you have to put your nose in front of the slide job before it happens, to have an advantage going through the corner, which is kind of hard to do here, but it kind of worked out. I went up to the top and finally found some pace that I was able to keep up. I knew I wasn't going to run Jason down. It was one of those moves where I saw Brad stayed out, and it was either go in and take the tires, and thankfully it worked out. It's kind of just a gamble, just like Jason did early in the race. Yeah,
well, that's it. Well, it worked out in the end. P2, that's nothing to shake a sauce bottle at. But we appreciate you. A credit to your racing as well. You and Newman and Mickelmore and those other boys put on a brilliant show. So well done to you guys, and thank you obviously for keeping it nice and clean, nice and hard racing. That's what we love to see up here. But while you're here, mate, you might as well thank your team and sponsors, mate. Go for it, hey?
Obviously, Nitro Racing, BMK Logistics, HeatFinder.net, the Mod Squad, and Graber Racing Components.
Very good. Well, there you go, folks. Zach C is your second place getter tonight for the second week in a row.
Great interview once again, Dave. Yeah, like I think surely he'd have to be a little bit dirty on a couple of weeks in a row of P2, but then again, by the same token, that is a nice consistent result. 2 weeks of P2 is better than finishing outside of that. But we have one better. We've got our P1 finisher, Jason Holdsworth. Jason, there's been a lot of talk through different areas, whispers about he can't manage his tires. Is he managing races correctly? You seem to sort of luck into it at a certain point. Obviously, it's a strategy at the end of the day, but got yourself to the front, and then you managed it really well. And then 3 to go, the yellow flag comes out. What's running through your mind as you see that notification pop up that yellow flag's out? All right, let's get ourselves locked in. What are you thinking?
I was still confident, but obviously I was disappointed because I was cruising to the win there. I to be honest, the first pit stop, I was surprised how many people took tires. Obviously 13 laps in, like there's always seems to be a few cautions at Autoclub, so I was very surprised. I was kicking myself throughout the race, saying I should have taken tires, but in the end it worked out. So I'm happy to finally get a win, considering I went winless last season. But yeah, it was a great race.
It's interesting you mentioned the winless season because co-commentator Dave Douglas did note look, let's not get too aggressive, but the somewhat subpar, let's say, performance on your post-race burnout. It definitely left a lot to be desired. So perhaps we need to get a few reps in the practice lobbies there just to work out. Yeah, just get on the skid pan and just work out how to do that. Hopefully you get another try later in the season. But look, it's easy to say, where did Holdsworth come from? He's got the tyres on and put himself to the front. But let's not forget, you did put that 8 truck on P1 and ahead of our 2024 champion, no less, in Newman. Had a couple of good battles early. Looked like you were just trying to be a bit patient with it. Don't know if I'm reading too far into that, but looked like you were being patient that early run before that first yellow. And then, yeah, like you said, obviously it's a matter of seeing how it all pans out. But looking back on it, I think the move of the race is choosing not to go to the or not to follow Williams in 3. You had a choice to make in 3. Obviously, try and tuck low. You chose outside. How were you feeling as you made that sort of move and then just saw it, I guess, fall away behind you?
Yeah, I was always going to go the outside. I wanted to run off the corner. I knew that if there was guys underneath, which Stevie Dub would probably try and squeeze the bottom lane. I figured he would. So I was always going to go high and try and get the run and hopefully get to first in the first corner of the final lap. A little bit lucky. I was surprised Stevie Dub stayed out. The brave call. Obviously with no grip in 3 and 4, it was always everyone's going to scatter. But yeah, car was great. A little bit different to officials, a lot of adjusting and trying to rebalance the truck. I didn't want to push too much with Newman at the start because I was just trying to save tyre behind him. I didn't need the lead. That's all I was trying to do. And then my plan was usually to start gunning it from lap 20, 25. I prefer to be following, to be honest, instead of leading. I seem to save tyres better.
We just seen the footage in the background as you say that, Jason. Just seen the footage of that turn 3 and 4 move where you went around the outside and just got such a great run off turn 4 with that high line, and then it. I think on the call itself, I said it was already curtains by turn 2. So it's I think you'll get some good satisfaction watching that one back for sure. But look, you managed it well. You put yourself in the position where you needed to be at the right time, and then you drove it away beautifully right at the end. I guess this is the classic moment where you get to thank and shout out all the people that help you get it done and make it happen each week.
Yeah, obviously the whole Nitro team. They've always been great to me, and our new builder JT. We spent a lot of time this week making sure we had a fast setup, and you saw on track. It was very, very quick. I am not the best qualifier. I was actually very surprised I was on pole. I'm going to put my hand up because I'm terrible at qualifying. So yeah, thanks to all those guys. Thanks for you guys in the box, and thanks to Nigel and the team as well. So it's always great coming out on Thursdays to do the trucks.
Yeah, sensational. You did an amazing job. A final question as well. We spoke about those naysayers. Did you get to work in the week since the disappointment of Atlanta to try and unlock any secrets as far as the tire saving and just trying to massage that time out of it? Did you have that in the back of your mind of tonight's race, or did it just kind of fall together with this type of track?
I had no hope last week when I didn't take tires. I'll be honest. Like, there's no tire saving. Like, I've gone through the numbers, Matthew, and there was no way I was going to go run down the guy's fuel saving. If they had 2 more laps, they had to save fuel. Yes, it would have been more. But it was too easy of a save for them to make that distance.
Yeah, look, that's fair enough. I did see a very exciting finish to the Xfinity series from a driver chasing down a gap with not much of a tyre delta difference there. But look, that sensation. Let's not take it away from this brilliant result that you've had here tonight. It was honestly a pleasure to watch. I think, like I said earlier, you're going to get a kick out of watching it, but also just even the racing prior to that amongst the top group. It's Dave and I remarked as probably some of the best racing we've seen in the Aussie scene in general for a long time, if not ever. So, yeah, even across your more seasoned kind of American leagues and whatnot, it's a real credit to everyone involved. And
I do just have a parting comment. Like, congratulations to your win on Tuesday, but remember the reason why I went winless last season is because you backed in a lot of wins.
Oh, there it is. There's the right reply. Don't worry, Jason. Don't hold back, mate. He was giving you some while you're out on the track and you couldn't defend yourself.
I'm
mate.
sure he was. Can't wait to see the replay.
Come on, fellas, this is a professional environment. But no, it honestly was a super exciting race to call. It was it had everything at every different stage of the race. So congratulations to you. Well managed, well driven at the end, and yeah, we'll look forward to next week at Coda.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jason. There we go. So that's our winner. He's you can hear the excitement, almost the relief in the voice of Mr. Holdsworth there. It's been a long time coming, but he's got that monkey off the back, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's does open the floodgates a little bit for the rest of the season for him. Often the times when you're searching for that win and you finally get it, it's just that extra confidence, that sort of release that you get to just go hell for leather for the rest of the season. But it's all going to be different next week as we go to turn right as well as left. Coda. Dave, what are you thinking? Obviously, a bit of a look ahead, for that one. What do you think we have in store?
Well, tonight I'm jealous, and it's hard to watch and commentate. I mean, it's easy on the eye, but it's hard because I want to be out there racing with these guys, because that would look like a lot of fun tonight. Next week, I don't want to bar it, mate. I'm happy to sit in the booth and watch them run laps around that Coda, mate. I don't rate it at all, but these boys will put on the show, no doubt.
Yeah, no question, and I think we'll see a few names perhaps towards the front that we otherwise wouldn't be familiar with seeing there, but we'll all probably see some names we are very familiar with. I'd say an early crow or early choice would have to be Newman. He's been very strong on the road courses before. He's very well versed in that front. So I'm excited to see who can bring the challenge to him there. But yeah, I guess that's our show for tonight. Yeah, like I've only just got my heart rate under control from everything we've seen. Sensational effort, Dave. Great call from yourself, Dean, the producer. Thank you so much for everything you've done there behind the scenes. Glorious pictures. Our race winner, Jason Holdsworth, in the 8 for Nitro at Auto Club in round 3 of the Australian NASCAR Truck eSeries. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, chuck some comments down. Why not? Congratulate the winner in the chat there. But we'll see you again next week, same time, for trucks at Coda.